Hey Libra, welcome to my channel. I'm your Cosmic Auntie, and this is going to be your monthly reading. I am recording this for in December, but it could really find you at any time and feel relevant to you at any time because energy works in its own interesting way. So whenever it does find you, I'm glad you're here. Happy holidays if it is the holiday season that you find this, if you celebrate. Yeah, I send you tons of love, Libra, tons and tons of love, because you give so much love, Libra. You really do. So thank you for being you. I'm looking forward to getting into this energetic chat. I am sorry if that's loud. Sometimes it's louder than I think it is when I bump things. The visual that I received for you. Oh, it's a car outside. I have been there. I have been there. Okay, sorry Libra, sorry. But I'm looking forward to getting into this energetic chat because the visual that I received for you is like very cryptic and interesting. So what I saw as I started getting ready for this reading and holding space for the energy, I saw a rainy window pane, you know, when you're like looking out the window pane and there's just like streaks of rain, kind of going on a diagonal, you know. And then it went to they showed me a visual of corn being cut, like the corn being the nodule. I don't know what they're called. The little like corn pieces. They get cut off so that you know they're kind of like easier to eat. And I was like, okay. So and then I heard the word adaptation when I asked for clarification about the corn. So because it is an adaptation, you know, this, you could remember maybe at a time where, you know, you're trying to eat corn and you were losing teeth as a kid and sometimes had to cut it off the cob, or if you've had anything kind of happen, that you've needed to do that at any point or have had to do that for another. There does seem to be almost like a nostalgic vibe to it as well. There's just a hint of nostalgia, I feel, when I spend time with that visual. And then with the rainy window pane, I feel a sense of like pining kind of energy. There's this longing. Yeah. There's this longing. So honestly, I think that we should just like start shuffling and get into the cards, and they'll probably help us get into this a little bit further and deeper. I hope that it's of service to you in some way. You know, take what you want, leave the rest. You know yourself best. All right, let's start with tarot. So this is the Star Tarot. I'm going to be using the Lightworker Oracle and then the African Goddess Rising Oracle at the end. All right, Libra. Yeah, it's interesting. I just find it so interesting. If any of this resonates with you in any particular way, please feel free to leave me a comment. Whoa, well, we got the sun, which is interesting when you see a rainy day. But then the corn was really yellow too. Interesting. So there's this awareness, there's this, honestly, like happiness, that I feel like bliss, abundance. It's very bright, Libra. It's very sweet, I feel, as well. Yeah. You know, when I lean into that pining energy, that longing, like I didn't sense it's sad. I didn't sense that per se. Maybe, like, I mean, it could be for some. There was like a I guess just like, you know how sometimes I heard gut-wrenching love can be, you know, like kind of missing someone, you know, that's the kind of vibe. Missing someone, kind of staring out the window in this like romantic, you know, novel kind of way. I just saw like a Victorian lady like like longing out the window with a book in her hand and like a notebook or something. I just saw like an easel as well, maybe painting in the landscape, and this sense of like longing. It's really like actually quite beautiful. And even if there is like a little, like a bit of like, if there is a little bit of like a whiff of sadness or a sense, because nostalgia can kind of, it can be very warm, and then it can also have just streams of sadness or pain or any kind of other sensation or emotion or experience that kind of came with that. Because again, going back to the corn, I don't know if like you're thinking, perhaps you're thinking back to a time where that was done for you, or you've done that for another, or both. And it oftentimes, like, there's a sense of sensitivity with it, vulnerability, because it's like if you're doing that for a little kid in your life, right? They're losing their teeth. You're doing that for a little kid. You care about them, right? Like, you care about them. You're trying to get them, you know, their food so they can eat it in peace, and you can't, especially with their two front teeth, like if they're gone, it's really hard to get into the corn, or if there's a whole bunch of, you know what I mean? And then, you know, if that's been done for you, you might have been young yourself, or maybe you've had some sort of surgery or some sort of situation where that has had to be, braces even. Yeah, so there's a sense of like being taken care of and taking care of. There's a sense of nurturing, and that comes with the sun energy. It's very considerate, Libra, and that is very much you. You are so considerate, like so considerate that I feel like sometimes it might be even easy to forget that others don't. They're considerate in their own way, but the detail and the consideration that is put into things by Libras is unmatched. The way the intellect of a Libra is so remarkable, honestly. So in the spirit of the sun, I'm gonna shine some light, and like I'm gonna shine some love on you, Libra. I want to attempt to see you, even just a sliver of your beauty here. But the attention to detail, the consideration that's put into things, as well as the, you know, when a Libra really is doing their thing, they are, you know how to tune into yourself as well as the other, and, you know, really, really create experiences and situations, responses, all these kind of cool things, you know. There's so many interesting noises happening in your reading, Libra. I don't know if you can hear that. But it also sounded like a little kid. I don't know, maybe there's some there's a little like baby here in the middle of the card too. So some of you may be parents, some of you may be reflecting on times when you were a kid. Sometimes maybe some of you have kids in your life. All of the above. So what I was saying about how a Libra, when they're like, you know, really, when you're real operating, you're like, when you're doing your thing, Libra, it's remarkable. It's remarkable. And it's just, there's this sense of generosity. I'm so sorry that there's so much noise happening behind me. Eight of Cups. There's that sense of longing, of reaching, of yearning, of loving. You know, the Eight of Cups is, you know, reaching for more, for deeper, for, you know, they're reaching for bliss and emotional depth. And like this Eight of Cups, are they're reaching for the star, this rainbow, this, you know, higher ground kind of thing. The Eight of Cups often symbolizes moving away from, you know, emotional patterns that aren't serving you anymore. You know, emotional patterns, certain behaviors, dynamics, anything that is, I heard it kind of like run its course as well. Like sometimes things just come to an end and there's this notion of moving on that comes with the Eight of Cups, and then the Nine of Cups comes after, of course. And the Nine of Cups is this emotional core, this, you know, emotional, this stability, this emotional groundedness, routine when it comes to emotional maintenance and bliss, because often the Nine of Cups is it can have like almost, I heard the word hedonistic. It can have a hedonistic energy to it. But that isn't necessarily bad. It's okay to revel in the majesty of life and to, you know, go for it, right, Libra? Just go for it. I really sense this kind of energy of doing what makes you happy. The world. Wow. I heard full circle. So 2 major arcana and 1 minor. So this is some I just heard the word karma. So there may be some really big karmic clearing right now, energy clearing. There is a certain kind of like letting go energy. Perhaps some of you are really reflecting on the perhaps even the year. I don't know, there's a sense of reflecting and releasing. And maybe that's too, like, when I just saw the window pane again, right? When we are feeling nostalgic and we drift into that space, it can be both absolutely warm and bright and comforting, and yeah, the things that come with the sun, as well as the Eight of Cups, where it's like these emotional behaviors of that time, or those patterns or those responses also come up. And the world is I feel is like really kind of saying and showing me as the reader that there's this release of that, if that makes sense. There's awareness brought to these places, and then release, moving on. And I'm not necessarily like, I don't know, it's so layered, Libra. It really is. Plainly put, there's some emotional patterns or behaviors that are just no longer that have no longer been serving you, and the world, like, they've come to an end. And it's really beautiful. Like, this is like, again, notions of, it's all energy. I don't necessarily see too much like changing in the environment per se, but I do sense that there are kind of emotional spaces, responses, reactions, patterns that have been reviewed and released. Super interesting reading. Prince of Wands. Wow. Underneath the Sun card, and it is remarkable. And it's kind of cool. This rainbow bridges these yellow cards into like this blue and yellow card. It looks really beautiful from my angle. And we pretty much have all yellow and all blue. So solar plexus chakra might be important, as well as the throat chakra. And I get the third eye as well. And then we've got the King of Cups under the Eight of Cups. Yeah, Libra. There is some deeper mastery and awareness when it comes to knowing yourself emotionally. There's things that I sense have just been able to be, like, there's been an ability to label certain emotional patterns, certain feelings, and that has assisted in shedding, redirecting, and integrating the information that is received from those places and shifted, right? Because there is this sense of release. There's this sense with the World card. There's things coming to things coming to a close, and which means there's also a whole new path opening. And it feels good. Like, honestly, it feels like I heard another chance. And I feel like there's just so much bliss and blessings and excitement and passion and inspiration. There's this like really powerful like patience I feel coming through your reading, Libra, like this powerful patience, because like there's just a peace with yourself. I feel like you've made peace with yourself, peace, you know, with certain things that caused, you know, emotions to bubble, right? Whatever they are for you, I feel like there's a certain making peace with them, and that's come through a lot of powerful patience, awareness. You know, the sun illuminates everything, and with this Eight of Cups, like reaching up, you know, being guided up, coming up for air is what I heard. Interesting. Coming up for air. So it shows me that there's been real deep diving, Libra. There's been real deep diving. And I don't know if I've shown you the King of Cups, but they're magical. So the King of Cups underneath the Eight of Cups. And there's this zest as well, Libra. Like, you know, when you come out of a, you know, a dark place, it feels really, you know, light again, and exciting. And I feel that. I feel the depth and the duality, the duality in this. Like, I feel like there's just this, again, peace made with yourself, which means that there's a certain peace that's made with inner beasts as well, right? We have the lion here. We also have this unicorn. So there's like, also when we make peace with the inner beasts, we also make room for the whimsy to come out, and that's something that the Prince of Wands really you know, assists in, is whimsy, creativity, zest, spark, you know. So I just feel like, wow, this fresh start, this readiness, this willingness to take in what life has to offer. There's just, maybe there has been a lot of staring out the window, like really watching the rain fall. Maybe there's just this notion, right, of being in a deep emotional space and coming up for air, knowing yourself on a deeper level, loving yourself at a deeper level. And that's what I sense here, Libra, is that's assisting in showing up in your environment in like loving, authentic ways. I just heard, you know, because you have so much peace with yourself, there's peace in the environment, even when, you know, things are changing. I feel like those of you who are here are just like super solid individuals and are experiencing deeper realms of your own depth, and it's amazing. And there, with this nostalgia, like there may be some past memories that are being brought up to review, to feel, to release, you know, through grief and validation, right? Sometimes we need to you know, talk to ourselves, those versions of ourselves, because we know now what we didn't know then. And sometimes, you know, it's powerful to validate yourself, especially when there's, you know, feelings, challenging energies, challenging feelings that come alongside warm, happy, loving feelings. And, you know, finding the merging of the duality of life is our own alchemical journey. I feel like there's one more for Libra underneath the World card. What's for Libra underneath the World card? Okay, there's two. We've got the Queen of Cups and the Six of Swords. Wow. So yeah, there's a piece with something. I keep wanting to take these like really big deep breaths and sigh, like I just feel like y'all have worked through something, you know, big, and feel a lot more peace and excitement for life and love. Like, I feel an immense amount of love coming through your reading. Even love for the shifting moments of time. Like, it's I feel like there's an element here of just like reveling in with the concept of time and the cycles and the things. I feel like, yeah. Oh no, it was Virgo. Virgo had a reading called The Timing of Things. And I think it was November or September. So if you're feeling called to go check that out, maybe there's some messages there for you. But the whole reading was really just reflecting on just like the energy that was coming through for them was just reveling at the synchronicities and the timing of things up until this point. Like, and I feel like there's a feel here with that. And it is quite like bizarre and remarkable and interesting, and like the timing of things. Some of you may be going on a trip as well. Some of you may be, you know, going on an adventure. And I feel like that's going to just even further, like for those of you who are going on a trip or something, that's going to further just solidify this like new depth and realm of just soul that I feel with you, Libra. And this awareness of yourself, this knowledge of yourself. I feel like this excitement, this readiness to experience new things, Libra. It's really cool. For those of you who aren't going on a trip, some of you may be moving or have moved. And it feels really good. It may have been hard in the process. And even to reach the intention and then to go through that process, it might have been, you know, I just, again, wanted to take a deep breath because it's just like there is a sense of deep emotion here. but with release and love. For those of you who resonate with this, please leave me a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. What's going on? Because, well, your Cosmic Auntie is super proud of you. This is really such a beautiful energy. And we're like, you know, if you're not going on a trip or if you're not moving, there's just this notion of moving on. Like, just moving on. Having more mental space to, you know, take in what you want to take in. There's something that has been cleared. There's something like there's karmic clearing. There's something that has been made peace with. There's deep healing here. And I feel like it's at the stage of just like feeling that rainbow, seeing that rainbow after the storm, you know, when it's raining and sunny at the same time. That's when rainbows happen. And the Knight of Wands has a rainbow in it too. And with the Eight of Cups. Interesting. Very, very interesting. There's a deeper love I feel for the self, and the dynamics that are in your life. Like some of you may be really deeply in love with the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups here. You know, for some of you, it might be romantic love. I think it's just, let's just say love in general, because these are general readings, these are collective, but this is like feeling grateful for, yeah, your partner, feeling grateful for your friends, feeling grateful for, yeah, your community, feeling a sense of belonging, having so much love for your family. Yeah, like there's just this huge for life, love of life and love of self. With the King and Queen of Cups here, like some of you may be moving on from a relationship and some of you may be feeling ready to call in a relationship. And I see with the King and Queen of Cups here, like it's really positive for romantic love energy. And then some of you, you know, maybe feeling really like over a relationship and it feels good. You know, when you're like going through a breakup and you're like, oh my God, I will never laugh again. But you will, and you are. And that's where I feel like we are right now, is like some laughs after a hard time and like feeling that spark come back and feeling that and that joy, that, you know, and there's that sense of nostalgia, pining, longing, love, reflection, like, and with the corn, it's like, it just again gives me that tender energy, like being tended to and tending to. So if it's not you know, for some of you it may be a breakup, some of you it may be different family memories growing up, you know, dynamics that with maybe even your parents, or a parent or a family member. It's really interesting. So it could be panning out in so many ways for y'all. And in general, what I feel here, to keep it like, is that there is some deep emotional pattern or memory, behavior that has been like released, healed, and made peace. And there's this sense of deep love and powerful patience and awareness and excitement for life. there's a sense of, let's just look at this. What's this say? Cosmic power, Mawulisa. Mawulisa. Wow. Okay, so Mawu Lisa is the force of mother, father, god, goddess. Mawu is the moon, the divine feminine. Lisa is the sun and the divine masculine. They came together during a fawn eclipse to create cosmic power. Mawu Lisa's guidance. You are in the right place. Release the fear of your power. You are sacred. You are magic. Now that you know this, you can no longer pretend not to. The embodiment. Rise up into your magnificence. Love and accept yourself fully to unlock everything you seek. Stop pretending to be less than you are. Your real power has nothing to do with external gains. Cosmic power cannot be destroyed or lost. You were created by the same force that birthed the sun and the moon. And the declaration is, my power shines forth from within. Wow, thank you, Mawu Lisa. Yeah, my power shines forth from within. And like, dang, I just like, okay, I just was taken to this feeling of being underwater and like going towards this like little flicker. And sometimes like we have to reach for our light and make way for it to be able to shine brighter. And I feel like that's very much here, you know, like really getting to know yourself and your own power, your capacity, your strength, your love. Again, this merging of duality, right? With the sun, the moon, the masculine, the feminine, and, you know, we have alchemies of all those energies, and it's a spectrum, you know, it's a rainbow. It's this connection. It is not rigid. It is finding the merging, like finding the alchemy of your energies, yourself, right? Finding balance, right, Libra? I hope you know. I hope I am making sense. But with the alchemist, right? The alchemist is looking at combining different elements to create gold, and so we each have our own gold standard. And that's what I really feel that here is that shining like the golden being that you are. It's like this. Anyway, we got earth healing. Just like I look at these so many times and I forget the number. Okay. Sorry. Earth healing. You're making a real contribution to the planet through your spiritual journey. Remember this and believe that your needs will be generously met by the earth and the universe. What you are doing matters and you will be supported. Wow. There's honestly just like real powerful earth angel energy here, like real powerful healers here. Know how to navigate a dark night of the soul is what I heard, and come out again into the light, being more aware of the alchemy that feels right to you. You know, because it's so hard to put into words, Libra. It really is, but what you are doing matters, and you're supported, you are safe, you are loved, and you are protected. You are here to have your spiritual life journey in a human body. Part of that process will involve sharing your light with the earth itself. This may see you take on the role of a healer, guide, mentor, or teacher to others on the path. It may see you doing work with the natural world with various earth-centered causes such as conservation and animal welfare, organic and biodynamic farming, and ethical food production. It may involve an active prayer life that is ongoing through your day, praying for assistance, compassion, clearing, and blessing when you see an accident on the road, an animal or person who seems to be suffering, or an item on the news that you know needs light and healing. Oh, see, like, Libra, you give so much. Libra, thank you so much for all the love that you give to the world. So much is it, like, you know, just is so unseen as well. You just give. And it's so beautiful. Because I also sense that there is a deeper knowledge and comfortability with giving to yourself as well. And that is an active practice, right, Libra? It's not a destination, it's a practice. And sometimes it can get a little uncomfortable because we have to break through different limitations. We have to, you know, kind of expand when we expand. And so when I say, like, knows how to navigate a dark night of the soul and kind of come back out into the light, it's not saying that everything that is challenging happens in the dark, but we have to go into our shadow. We have to go into our depth. And that is our internal process. And the things that we experience, the good, the bad, the ugly, gets put in there, right? We visit it in our mind, we visit it in our feelings, in our bodies, our memories. Reflect on it when it comes to our behavior. If we made a mistake or we, you know, we're acting out of fear in some way and wondering why. Like, these are the kind of things, right? Like, triggers. I feel like there's certain triggers that have been really identified and worked through. And that's not to say that they might not crop up again in the future, because they probably will. It's just that I feel with this reading, Libra, is that there's a certain knowledge. There's a label on it. You know exactly what it is. And the more that we bring our awareness to things and the more that we're able to articulate and identify these things, the less power they have, right, Libra? So yeah, there's this real beautiful sense of karmic clearing and also receiving. Like, because you give so much, I feel like this is a season of gifts. And I love to freaking see it. And you are so seen for everything that you do, especially, you know, if it's unseen by fellow, you know, humans. The earth knows and the universe knows, Libra. I hope this was helpful to you. I love you very much, and I'll see you next month.